following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Heckma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
Here we are, the Players Lounge, coming to you from the SWBC Podcast Studios in Frisco, Texas. Open locker room right now for the Dallas Cowboys as they get ready for Week 1's opponent against the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland, Ohio.
Miss him in Cleveland.
Down on Lake
Bone
Erie.
Thugs. What you know about that?
So,
Bone Thugs. Bone Thugs.
Yes, Heckma Harrison is here.
In here.
Barry Church is here.
Yes, sir.
I am Newy Scruggs. You bring up some good memories, Heckma Harrison, when I lived in Cleveland.
What you know about Bone Thugs and Harmony, Newy?
So, when I was in Cleveland, man, the two things that you'd bump would be Bone Thugs and Gerald Levert.
I mean, come on, that's the mayor of Cleveland.
Man, love me some Gerald. So one time I worked at Channel 5 up there. And a big Gerald Levert fan. Big Gerald Levert.
Probably was an OJ's fan first.
Yes, but was a big Gerald Levert fan. And he had a song that me and my frat brothers used to sing.
What?
That he and Keith Sweat did, the duet, Just One of Them Things. And great duet. Anyway, I go downstairs because my office was upstairs, but downstairs, Gerald Levert is in our building at the assignment desk. Yes. He's there because there was a pretty little lady worked on the desk.
Yeah.
Hey. He finished the show. I straight up was, hey, man.
Starstruck.
Love you, Rose. Yes.
There it is.
I said, man, we should sing one of them things all the time, man. Me and the frat. And he was like, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Nice guy. Super nice guy. But
That's when Big Brothers was in style. Big Brothers was in
yes,
style.
ma'am. Anyway, his passing
Big
hurt me.
and cool.
His passing hurt me. But a lot of great music down in musical roots in Cleveland. If you ever get a chance to go there, you want to go to a Browns game, you want to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you want to take in a game over at the old Jacobs Field now, or whatever they want to call it. So, cool place. All right, so the Browns are 2-point favorites against this Dallas Cowboys team. The Cowboys are bringing Mike Zimmer in to replace Dan Quinn as the defensive coordinator. When Danny McCray was a part of the Players Lounge, he was all about DQ, and DQ we trust.
That's true.
How are we feeling about Mike Zimmer, guys? Barry?
Y'all know how I feel about this.
Barry?
Y'all know
former
how
Cowboy
I
safety.
feel about this.
All right.
I think losing Dan Quinn, I think it's going to be huge. Do I think it's going to be detrimental to where they won't have at least a top 15 defense? No, I don't think it'll be that bad. But we all saw, when this team switched coordinators from Marinelli to Nolan back a couple years ago, how bad that went. And then Quinn came in here and he just shot this defense up with a bunch of life and a bunch of juice. And we saw how they played for that man. I mean, every single one of those players went out there and they gave it their all for Dan Quinn. I mean, whether it's turning over the football, getting after the quarterback, whatever the case may be, each of those guys had career seasons under Dan Quinn. And that's something that I don't think people can just sit there and kind of dismiss like, okay, we got the same players, just a different coordinator. I think it'll be a little bit harder for this defense to get back to where they were at least last year, not at the beginning of the season. It's going to be a bumpy road to start, but I think eventually, they'll get the hold of Zimmer's defense and, they'll start the roll. They have too many great pieces on that defensive side to be just a terrible defense. I mean, you got Parsons, you got D-Law, you got Diggs, the guys on the outside. So you got the pieces there. But what's going to be a little bit concerning to me is we already talked about it, which is that run defense. And in Zimmer's defense, you know how he loves to play those guys back. And I'm talking about the safeties. He loves to play those guys back. So it's going to leave you with a light box against the run. And when Zimmer had those defenses in Minnesota, he had a prime Linval Joseph.
Yes.
He had a Kendricks who was in his prime. Those guys, Anthony Barr, they were able to play the light defense because they had those big mollywops up front and linebackers so I can run sideline to sideline. Now we're talking about Zim, probably 8 years later. Kendricks, year 11 now. Does he still have the juice to be able to be that sideline to sideline guy? I don't know. Linval Joseph, year 29. I don't even know what year this guy's in, but he's been in the league long. The man's 36 years old, all right? Playing the defensive line. All right, I'm just saying.
Stop.
To me, the road's going to be bumpy a little bit at the beginning of the season, but I believe they'll catch a foot, and I think they'll finish in the middle of the road defensively.
You know what? I think especially
that's not a lot of belief there.
No, it ain't, right?
What do we do on the players?
Very little belief.
Keep it a bean.
He put the spin on it. You know, I love that. And you're right. Danny was all about DQ. He spoke highly of his scheme and the way that he used his players. But I look at these defensive coordinators, I look at coaches, period, like parents. You know, you got parenting styles. You got one strict parenting, and then you have the very liberal parenting, free-range kids, you know, timeout, you know, all of that stuff. Mike Zimmer ain't the timeout parent. He the parent that go get the belt. Okay, that's the kind of guy he is. And so, what I'm saying is, this is another funny way to say he's more disciplined. He's going to take a more disciplined approach. You're going to know exactly where he wants you to be. And I think that was completely different from DQ that allowed these guys to freestyle, do some other things. If they were going out here, it's kind of flexibility with what you were doing. We know what the secret sauce is to beating the Cowboys. It's been this way for years. Run the ball on them. They can't get off the field on third down. And oh, by the way, if they don't get to the quarterback and if they don't force turnovers, they look average at best. What he has to do, no matter what, is get those big guys up front, and he has to play sturdy in that defensive line. And that's why you bring in guys like Phillips. That's why you bring in Linval Joseph that's been playing since he was 9 years old.
Off the street.
Off the couch.
Hey, what you doing?
You want to play?
Hey.
Yeah. We got something for you to do.
Come get this rotation.
But I think
Are you at the lake right now? Are you available?
As much as people want to make jokes about that, the thing about it is all you need is that guy to be able to make a difference in your linebacker room, and that's where I think you got better in the offseason. You can say Kendrick's been playing forever, but, hey, he's had consistent seasons with 100 tackles, and we have needed that tackling machine. But not only that, you've needed guys that can also play out in space and also defend. And what you're going to need also in this situation is because of your cornerback room, you're going to need really smart linebackers to be able to play in and out of phase in areas so that you can protect your cornerbacks in the flat and underneath. Look, it's imperative right now going up against Cleveland. Stefanski's not going to change his spots. Stefanski's not going to change. He's going to run that. And the thing is now, when you talk about Deshaun Watson coming off of a shoulder injury, there are some things that you haven't seen in the offseason from him. Hell, there are things that you haven't seen from Deshaun Watson in a couple of years that if he starts to reconnect with some of that, it could be a bad experience for the Dallas Cowboys in week 1.
So what's your answer? About Zimmer?
I love him, and I think he's going to make the difference for this defense.
Top 10 defense.
Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. He's trying to get you in that trap where he was at last.
Which is a top 10 defense.
Don't fall for it.
No. What are you talking about? I mean, I believe that we got.
So they'll be top 10.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Top 10?
All right.
Okay.
The Dallas Cowboys have a top 10 defense.
Okay.
Put it on the
Get back to the book.
Put that on
Now, look at that.
It's in pen. It's in pen.
Dallas Cowboys
Put it in pen, man.
have
Yeah.
a top
Yeah.
10 defense.
Get healthy.
Yeah.
Get healthy, my man, Deron Bland.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
And I think you have to cover up for some of those warts early with Kaylee Carson.
Yeah, that's gonna be the guy. He changed his number. He got that 2-1 on him.
Yeah, and the thing about Carson that you also know is he's going to be aggressive, and I feel like Al Harris, especially his secondary coach, is going to have him prepared for this moment. We know exactly what the Browns are going to present. They got a lot of problems, and they got Amari Cooper. So let's keep it a buck, all right? And you know what Amari Cooper, 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons since he's been in Cleveland. He presents a problem, especially when you start talking about Trayvon Diggs coming back on an ACL.
So, Barry, when you have a new defensive coordinator bringing in his type of style here, how long is the adjustment period for guys on the field?
It can
Especially
be
going from DQ to Zim.
Oh, it can be extremely long, but thankful for this team that at the marquee positions, the positions where they do the most communicating, they have veterans there that are brought in from a Zimmer system that understands. We're talking about a Kendricks at the linebacker position, who's going to be, and that's why I say he's going to be probably the most important piece of this defense, because he's going to be the quarterback back there. Yep. I mean, you're going to have safeties making calls, but they're going to be relaying the message that Kendricks said at the second level. He's going to look around. Okay, there's 2x2, 2 wide receivers on that side. We're going to be in this defense, and he's going to have that relayed throughout the entire defense. And then you talk about a guy, Linval Joseph, even though I make fun of him for his age, he's going to have to be that guy in there in the trenches that's going to say, all right, this is how we're going to set things up. This is how we're going to play double teams. At least kind of show those guys the way. So if there was no one coming from the Zimmer regime or Zimmer era when he was coaching defense that was on this defense, and I would say it was going to take a while. It's going to be a bumpy road. But you got guys in those marquee positions that can relay to defense and get these guys at least lined up on the same page. Because if you're lined up on the same page, you got a chance. But if you got half of the field playing cover 2 and the other half playing cover 4, that's when you get in those sticky situations. So you got a communicator out there, and hopefully he can take this defense and make it his own.
So this is a game where a lot of people are talking about number 4 and the pressure on number 4. And I'll tell you, they got the wrong number 4. Dak Prescott is a guy who led the league in touchdown passes last year, the first year in this Mike McCarthy offense, and they brought his top target back. I don't worry about Dak Prescott because Dak Prescott has shown you he's still a top quarterback in this league.
Mm-hmm. I get you.
Deshaun Watson got a whole bunch of guaranteed money, has not lived up to any of it. And I'm like, guys, anybody want to go ahead
Roast him
and put something on Mr. Watson?
Roast him.
I will tell you, before he left Clemson, I said the Cowboys had to have a losing season, go get Deshaun Watson. I was sold on Deshaun Watson. I was sold on Deshaun Watson more than Patrick Mahomes, more than Mitchell Trubisky. I'm like, this is the guy. Go get this guy. This guy's good. Took Alabama to the wire in 2 national championship games, walked out with 1 win. Then the second one wasn't his fault. He was a heck of a the guy can perform. When Nick Saban says, hey, man, this dude is giving us as much trouble, last guy to give us this kind of trouble is Cam Newton. So I'm like, this is the dude. In Houston, good player. Got paid in Cleveland. Stuff on Twitter came out.
Yeah.
Ain't been the same guy.
Fell off a cliff.
Shoulder last year. This, for all the people that talk about the accuracy of Dak Prescott, please go look at Deshaun Watson. If you've had Deshaun Watson on a fantasy team anytime in the last 3 years, you know the pain. I've known the pain.
You had him on that roster, my boy.
You know what it was? At the end of the year, he was that backup.
Not fantasy.
I mean, bro, you want to find out about your quarter? Play some fantasy football.
Play some fantasy football.
Brother,
What is this? One more time. Brother,
I mean, brothers got to reach behind. I mean, don't go to their wide receivers. They're not magicians.
Stop it. Stop it.
I mean, get Njoku if you need to on your fantasy team.
doubt.
He'll put some points up because that'll be his outlet guy. But I mean, you know, hey, down the field.
I want to offer this up.
Might not happen.
I want to offer this up about Cleveland because they went 11-7 last season without Deshaun Watson. Only had him for 6 games. There are very few teams in the NFL that really you just got to drive the bus. And I know that's sacrilegious in quarterback talk, but just drive the bus. That's how good that defense is. You know, their defense is that good. I mean, you could be in some 10 or 3-0 games with Cleveland's defense. And I think, look, Deshaun Watson, for the money that he got paid, the pressure's going to come with it. He's a fully guaranteed contract, unheard of, right? But, you know, when I look at him, I think, look, man, if your offensive line can give you any push, your running game can be any semblance of what it has been in the past, it makes your job even easier, especially with the guys that you have on the outside. Jerry Jeudy, Mark Cooper, and company. Look, just allow those guys to be them and don't try and do anything special. We know he's going to take those short dump-off passes. He's not going to be trying to go up the field initially. I'm saying, you know, and that's just how my feeling is on him. But I think this is going to be a defensive game. And I saw Flacco last season. He got broke off. Somebody's going to pay him money because of the job that he did after Deshaun Watson was hurt, because all he did was just come in and not mess it up. And sometimes that's all you got to do.
I'll disagree. He took the ball down the field where Watson wasn't taking the ball down the field.
He threw some shots.
And Cooper, I mean, we saw what Cooper was able to do.
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, when you have a weapon. When you have
Austin the rock.
When you have a weapon.
That wind with Watson out there, I mean, because that's a part of playing in Cleveland. That wind up there is tripping, man.
Yeah, when you don't have any weapons, but, you know, Cleveland has weapons, and they've always had guys that could be able to stretch the field, take the top off. I mean, Amari Cooper's one of the best in the business at what he does.
Roll Tide.
Exactly. My man, that's for you, my man D-Mac. But either way, you know, when you have weapons the way that he does, he understood how to use them. And you think about Flacco when he played in Baltimore. He was tailor-made for the job because what? All he had to do was just not mess it up and take the shots when you had an opportunity to. It's true. Okay.
That's true. A man says it's true.
Super Bowl MVP.
No, he did have a crazy playoff run, though. He did.
That season, he was good. I mean,
wait a minute.
$100
You mean to tell me with Ray Lewis, what? You go put that Super Bowl on Flacco? You gonna tell me Flacco was the reason that Baltimore won the Super Bowl?
Did I say it was the reason?
No. I'm just saying you were hinting. You
hinted that this dude was just sitting here driving the bus like he was Brad Johnson, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That was not it, right?
We've seen it.
That was not
You've
it.
seen it. You've
Joe
seen it. It's a show.
Flacco had to go make plays that year, and he did. And that Super Bowl game, when I was at New Orleans too, the dude made some plays, and he was the MVP. And that whole run, but his own team didn't want to pay him. His own team, hey, man, you need to take this. And he was like, nah, I'm not taking that. I'm betting on myself. He bet on it, and he won. And he won. And when he played last year in Cleveland, the guy was a better quarterback than Watson, and he was so good, they couldn't bring him back.
Too much turmoil in there.
They couldn't bring him back.
They didn't put a trophy. They didn't put a statue of him outside, though.
Not the fold.
They ain't do him like that. They ain't do him like that.
I will give the man, I give him his flowers for the Super Bowl run. I give him his flowers for what he did last year. You know?
No, you're on the island right there.
You know what? That's fine. That's
yeah,
fine. But,
you're on the island with that.
You know, you can say what you want to.
One of the best defenses that. Come on now.
You go to
Cleveland?
Huh?
Cleveland? Yeah, Cleveland definitely had one of the best defenses.
I'm talking about Baltimore, too,
Baltimore,
when Flacco won in Baltimore.
The guy was not a bus driver, is all I'm saying. The guy made plays.
Okay.
I ain't sitting up here calling Patrick Mahomes, but the guy made plays. The guy wasn't just sitting here driving the bus. He made plays.
Okay.
And they won because he was able to make plays. And he had Jim Caldwell as his coordinator in Baltimore, too, who didn't get enough credit. But Jim dialed up some stuff and put Joe in a good spot, and he was able to make some plays, and their defense was pretty good, too.
Safety question. Safety question.
Let's take
it.
Let's do.
You want to tease it?
Yeah, Kepman's got a safety question.
Safety question.
And we have a safety here who can handle the question here.
Let me get my handy dandy out.
Get it out.
Harrison, Barry Church, I'm Dewey Scruggs. Safety question coming up next. This show is brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboys fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes, including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/Fan of the Year. Go Cowboys!
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Mex Tour is back. Head to AT&T Stadium on Tuesday, September 10th for a showdown between Mexican and Canadian men's national teams. Don't miss another exciting soccer match in Arlington. Tickets are available and are now on sale at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing provider of AT&T Stadium training camp in Frisco.
Heckma Harrison, thank you very much for the Reunion Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. Heckma Harrison, Barry Church, I'm Newey Scruggs. By the way, Joe Flacco in that Super Bowl for the Baltimore Ravens, 22 of 33, 287 yards, 3 touchdowns, got Baltimore out to a 21-10 lead. And let me see, they had 21 first downs, 13 were via passing. On third down efficiency, 9 of 16. But, okay, if you think that's bus driving, oh, no. MVP. But.
Yeah. So be it. That's how they celebrate that one. Can we go to the safety question?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Okay. So in this match, especially you're talking about Mike Zimmer, we were talking about his scheme and what he's going to do, especially coming up against a team in Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski came up underneath his wing, so he knows his scheme full well. Guys like Donovan Wilson and Marquise Bell, your safety positions, the way that you were just talking about the too high safety look. You're going to have to bring one of those guys down in the box if things start getting out of control, or you have to start scheming those guys up. How do you feel against that with that matchup with Donovan Wilson, not only in the run fits, but also being lined up over Njoku?
So when it comes to run fits, I got no issue with Wilson. I understand he understands the run game like the back of his hand. The guy's going to come downhill like a missile. He's going to fill his gaps. He's going to be that explosive player that you want to see in the run game that'll get your defense hyped with the big hits. So when it comes to the run game, I'm not really concerned about Donovan Wilson down there. Now, when it comes to eventually, because, we know Zim loves to play zone, but eventually you're going to have to sprinkle in some man. You're going to have to be in some third down situations where you got to go man. And that's the situation where they're going to have the Njoku out there one-on-one against a Donovan Wilson. Now, is Njoku Travis Kelce? No. But the guy is a mismatch nightmare when you talk about vertical speed and being able to use his body like a big rebounder out there. So he can definitely present some problems to a Wilson in one-on-one coverage. And I don't really see, unless it's a, gotta have it down, Zim saying, all right, Wilson, we need you man-to-man on this guy. Lock him up. I mean, that's just not his game. That wasn't my game when I played, and I don't believe that's Wilson's game either. And when you talk about the run scheme, there's one thing that they can do. I don't know if they do this or not, but they have an option to do so, which is a lot of people will play big nickel, which instead of having versus a 12 personnel, so you got, 2 running backs, one tight end, or vice versa. Yeah. You would bring down, instead of having Jordan Lewis at that nickel, which he's a good run defender as well, you would have that big nickel go in there, which is kind of like a Marquise Bell, which he would be that basically third linebacker in there, but he's a little bit better in coverage than a linebacker. That, to me, would be the situation you would have there to go against the run. If the run's just outright destroying you, they're coming downhill versus your base personnel, you got to bring another speed guy in there, open field guy. You would bring Bell down in there to be that big nickel package, and hopefully that will resolve some of the issues. But first and foremost, they got to get the inside. Like we talking about, safeties coming down, that's all outside work. If you can get that inside situated, if you can get Mozzie Smith to go in there, take those double teams, and Kendricks can go sideline to sideline, and they won't have to bring these guys down, and they'll be able to have those safeties back. But you know what they say, if was a fifth, right?
Yeah, we'd be drunk in here. Yep. But zone typically is what you're talking about for Coach Zimmer, and then you have a rookie who's going to come into the situation already with the jitters. So Barry Church, thinking about what your first game, NFL game.
You gotta help him. You gotta help him, man. The waters are gonna be choppy enough as a rookie going in there. Your first NFL game, like of course these guys have been to, some guys SEC, they're used to big crowds, but the NFL, it's just a different vibe, it's just a different feel. And you're gonna be anxious out there. You need somebody to help calm you down. So you don't want to be tossed in the island your first National Football League game. So to me, what Zimmer's gonna do, he's gonna sprinkle a lot of zone in there to help the young man out. And on man-to-man situations, lean a safety over the top. Just lean. He ain't got to be fully on top of the guy. Just lean him over a little bit to kind of discourage that quarterback, so the young man understands that he has deep help. Because that's a big thing when you talk about a defensive back learning where his help is. If he understands where his help is, and he has, all right, I cannot get beat to the outside, or I cannot get beat to the inside. I got somebody over the top. That'll help alleviate it'll help calm him down a lot when he goes out there. Now, you can either lean a safety over the top, or you can help him play off and have a linebacker buzz underneath, but they got to help the young man out. I don't want to see, and we always talk about this, I don't want to see a Chaz Green situation where they're like, you know what, you're on the island against this guy, one-on-one, he's beating you like a drum, but we're still going to leave you out there. No, I believe Zimmer is one of the smarter defensive minds in the National Football League. So he's going to help the young man out.
You're saying protect him. You got to protect him with the safety over the top.
You see Amari Cooper running routes.
Yes.
Like that, he gives some of the best corners in the National Football League fits. You don't want to just kill the man's confidence. Go out there and watch Amari Cooper one-on-one. He's dogging you out the first two drives, and you're like, man, I'm not ready for this game. Then the confidence gets shot. So you got to help the young man out. Let him go out there and make some plays.
What about Diggs? Do you put Trevon Diggs on a pitch count here?
If you had Bland, I would say, yeah, you can throw him a little pitch count. But without Bland, you can't have him on and off the field. I mean, I want him to go out there. I want him to, if the training staff says he's fully ready to go, then Diggs, you got to get out there and you got to perform. This defense is going to need you. And I want the Diggs that still has that gambler mentality. I understand, coming back from that knee, you don't want to, you kind of figured out, man, do I still got the juice?
Can I plan on this thing?
Can I still plan on that thing?
Yeah.
But the worst thing I want him to do is go out there and play cautious, not play his game, give up a lot of catches underneath just to watch that knee. Like, still have that gambler mentality, still jump on around, still be the guy that we know you are out there when fully healthy. But when it comes to a pitch count, you don't have the depth. You don't have the depth right now to go out there and say, hey, you only play 35, 40 plays here and there. We'll sprinkle some other guys in there, because who you going to sprinkle in there?
So let me add on this. If you're Cleveland, we got a rookie, we got a guy coming off an injury. You're going to try to test this
off the top.
You got to test it.
Yeah.
Might be the first play.
Yeah, test that chin.
Maybe play action.
Yeah, for sure. And I always go back to situations like this when you talk about, I've heard so many players talk about Brett Brown and his preparedness and the way that he brings guys back. And I think about Trevon Diggs and when he got hurt. It wasn't like end of the season, playoffs. This is, beginning of the season. So he had plenty of time to heal from it. And then you look at, the ACL Achilles injury used to be like the death knell to a guy's career. Now you're seeing guys be able to come back and play with ACL, MCLs. And I mean, Joe Thomas came back Grunk. You got to find, he blew both of his, and was able to come back. Yeah. Tom Brady blew an ACL. And so guys are able to come back and play. I just feel like for Trevon Diggs, it's the same with almost like Carson. It's that mentality. What do you do with your eyes? Where are your eyes? It's see a lot, see a little, see a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what I'm saying.
See a little, see a lot, right? And the thing about him is that even in that gambler mentality, I want him to play like you're talking about. But I think he's going to have to get that confidence as the game goes on.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Like you were talking about Kalen Carson, you were saying, look, man, play within the scheme and don't try and guess. Know where you're protecting, know where your help is. And that's the biggest thing when you play defense is knowing where your help is. And I think if Diggs can do that, I think at some point, especially in this season, he'll let Zim know, look, I'm Gucci. I'm Gucci. I'm ready to go. Like, man.
The double moves is coming.
Yes.
You know that.
Yes.
Amari Cooper's known for the doubles.
And you know who know that he's susceptible to the double moves? Amari Cooper.
You already know.
Roll Tide on Roll Tide.
Yeah, that should be a good matchup for sure. Do you see them? They didn't do it a lot last year. I don't even know if they did it at all last year, but do you see them traveling Diggs with Cooper at all throughout this game?
Wow. You know what?
That's a lot to ask coming off.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I think one, because of the matchup and because of what you have going on with your cornerback room, I think everybody's going to get a full serving of Amari Cooper. Yeah. I think he's going to line up all over the field. And I think that's the one element of this game that they have right now that I think Dallas has to prepare for.
How much juice does Amari have for this game, in your opinion, Barry?
I think he's a player. He's 10 out of 10. Like, he's the type of guy that he won't put it on his sleeve. He won't show all that emotion under it. But underneath, he's like, man, I can't wait. I cannot wait until Sunday. You know it.
Because he knows it's going to send everybody to a panic.
If he start going off.
Traded me away for a 5.
And this how y'all. He ain't going to show it. He won't say it before the game, anything like that. But there'll be slight notices. He go out there and get a first down. He gonna get up, shrug his shoulders a little bit. He might do a celebration. He's not known for the celebration. He might get up and celebrate a little bit. But I think he's boiling for this one.
Yeah, I'm one of those people, man, thinking about this game and what I've seen on the film with the Browns. I feel like Mike is gonna come after him. I think he has to. I think he has to, we've had these conversations about defensive schemes, make 11 guys look like 15 guys and, create mayhem. And he's gonna have to do that at the line of scrimmage. If he allows for Deshaun Watson to be comfortable in the pocket, maneuver and do it, like, you can't do that. And this is our opportunity. Everybody that wants to see how Zim is gonna use Micah Parsons, this is my part where I'm like, how Now that you got your opportunity, how are you going to use number 11? And I think that's going to be the specialty that people don't have film on that. You know, teams are not going to have film, and they're going to be compiling that as the season goes on.
All right, let's get our final break in here. We asked the question, do you put Diggs on a pitch count? The answer is no. There's another player. Do you put this player on a pitch count? Let's dive into this key weapon for the Cowboys when we come back with Heckman Harrison, Barry Church on New East Coast Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
I'm Cowboys alumni, Danny McCray, here with Smoothie King asking, what's that sound? That's the sound of me sipping one of their Power Pack smoothies with over 10 grams of protein. With real fruits and organic veggies, because at Smoothie King, what you see is what you sip. So grab a delicious Smoothie King smoothie, throw a straw in your jaw, and get sipping real. Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Raising Cane's presents the other rules of football. Rule 1, any broadcast without the express addition of cooked-to-order Cane's chicken fingers is prohibited. Rule 12, no crinkle-cut fries, Texas toast, or craveable Cane sauce constitutes an illegal formation. And Rule 31, anybody who loves to feed their game face is an eligible receiver of Cane's. When it comes to winning game day, Cane's rules. Raising Cane's chicken fingers. One love. Go Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Are you the 2024 Dallas Cowboy Fan of the Year? The Dallas Cowboys and Captain Morgan are celebrating extraordinary, inspiring, and original fans. Nominate yourself or the biggest Cowboy fan you know for a chance to be named the 2024 Fan of the Year and win prizes including a trip to Super Bowl 59. Visit DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year. Go Cowboys.
Super Bowl 59 coming up on.
Can't believe it.
Wow.
It's like that.
59.
Cowboys last played in Super Bowl 30.
It's been a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. Hey,
Hate to
knew
see
it. I had the Gumby.
What is that? What's the Gumpy? What's the Gumpy?
I mean, you think about the last time the Cowboys, the things that were in style, you know. Nobody
Is that
had
a cut?
Nobody
It's
had
a
cell,
cut, yeah.
yeah, nobody had cell
Gumpy is a
phones.
cut.
Bill Clinton was the president. I mean, Jerry Maguire wasn't even released when the Cowboys
Show me the money.
Right, yes. It was a long time ago,
A
man.
long time ago,
Super Bowl 30 was a minute, bro. We're going on Super Bowl 59.
It's
I
a phone
gotta see a
thing.
picture of you in this Gumpy, man.
Listen, man. No,
to bring it
I'm not
tomorrow.
gonna do that. I'm
should
not
bring
gonna
it
do
You ain't gonna bring it?
that.
Throwback Thursday.
Throwback
I'm not gonna do it, dog.
Go ahead, bring a
bro.
little-
What you not gonna do is gas me up. What you, Newey, are not gonna do.
brought it up.
I just, yo,
It's
but
Throwback
that way, I'm
Thursday.
not gonna let you gas me.
What's
though.
the Gumpy look like, man?
Yeah,
Is it like the
Come on,
joint?
man,
Like,
it's a part of-
that's it.
Part of participating in the show, man. It's part of being on the show, man. Let the people
the
do
side,
it.
the side.
For the
Yeah,
people-
decide
do it for the
to it.
Players Lounge people, man. For the people that support the
I
show,
got to
man.
see it. I got to see it. dog.
I had the whole Gumby, bro.
Shoot, I was working in Cleveland that year. man. Super
Heck
Bowl
with
30,
the
man.
gum,
With the
dog.
Gumpy,
I gotta see this, man.
I'm about to show you on my phone. I am not sending you that because you are not putting that on social. Hell no. Ain't happening.
Players Lounge is brought to you by Aristocrat.
You had a part two?
Of course. What you talking about, bro? What? Yes. course, I had to party and fade it up. Yeah, the Gumby, son.
I love it.
Super. Bigger and definitely.
Yeah, for real,
man.
That was back in the gap. Not so much.
We asked earlier in the show, should there be a pitch count on corner Trevon Diggs coming back from injury? And we said no. I asked this question now about CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver. Just signed his big deal. Missed all the training camp here. Is he on a pitch count? Because you get a hamstring pull, some type of lower leg injury, man, and so how much do you play your best offensive weapon against the Browns?
Let me answer this for you. Hell, ain't no pitch count. Ain't no pitch count.
He out there.
You out there. We outside. All right. This is what we hear. We outside tonight. We outside on Sunday. No, sir. There's no way you could go into Cleveland with the pressure that they present as a defense and limit anything that CeeDee Lamb has, because I'm telling you, it's going to be all hands on deck. You have to have, especially if you establish any kind of balance with that running game. If that running game is popping, CeeDee Lamb is going to eat, because he is going to be matched up man to man, and they're not going to change their spots because they're coming up against CeeDee Lamb. And when you examine this roster of the Cleveland Browns,
they got some dogs.
They got some dogs. I know we're going to dig deep into it tomorrow, so I won't go too far, but I'm just telling you, you cannot.
You there? Go ahead.
Well, look, the thing is, you're going to be, Denzel Ward's probably going to travel.
He's cold.
Yeah.
Newsom cold, too.
No, let me tell you who cold. Warren Thornhill is cold.
He cold, too. He was locking up Justin Jefferson in the summer.
They have some guys in that secondary that don't play around. And look, you know why they don't. They have goons in the front. And look, we're going to talk about guys like Myles Garrett. He is awesome. But Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, he is the one. And he is the guy that brings all the energy to what they do. But honestly, it's like when you have that kind of pass rush, it makes life, as we've talked about, so much easier for those guys, because they feel like, look, we can lock you up long enough for Myles to get home. But, hey, we've seen in games versus Houston, when that don't work, and that don't work, we got somebody that can work it.
Nah, I'm with you on that, Heck. I mean, it'd be hard to kind of hide him out there a little bit, because I was thinking maybe you can take him out for a run, run downs and then bring him back. But coordinators are too smart in this league, and they'll be like, "Oh, CD's out. Let's stack the ball." They'll figure it out. So it'll be tough to kind of get him on and off on a pitch count. Plus, like you said, if he's out and you're trying to be productive offensively, especially in the passing attack, who out there has proven, was it time-proof and consistency, that they can go out there and win the one-on-one matchups? I mean, Cooks back in the day could have. I haven't seen it last year. Ferg, he has an opportunity.
That's my man.
Ferg can do it.
That's my man for you.
But
Ferg, Kittle, Kelsey.
I don't know if he can get you those big chunks like CD can. I don't know if he can get you those 5 to 10 yards, but can he get you those chunks like CD can? I'm not so sure. And then Tolbert, this will be his first, season where he's going to be, a big-time factor as far as offense, catching passes and stuff. So to me, you got to pay CD out there. You got to make sure he's not on the pitch count, because, like I said, coordinators will figure out when he's in and when he's not what this offense wants to do. And if he's not on the football field, it's going to be hard for this passing attack to be productive.
Let's end this with a yes/no question as we get toward the end of the show.
Yes, no.
Yes, no.
Yes, no. I like yes.
And I'll start it.
All right, go ahead.
Does Micah Parsons win the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award? Put me down as no.
That's it. Big Bazooka he ain't gonna get it, huh?
Yeah.
Just no.
No.
Straight off the rip. No.
You know what? He's so dramatic, dog. I love this guy. You see how he threw his pen down like that?
Chop it on there.
I love it.
Got a new defensive coordinator.
I got you.
I'm still worried about what I see up front. First place schedule right now. I don't feel it. Okay. I'm not feeling it. So there I go. Boom. I went right there.
There it is.
Look, I think my man is going to rebrand this year. I think we're going from rebranding. We're going from the bazooka to the missile. He will be forever referred to as the missile.
The missile.
For now on.
No more bazooka.
I got the pen ready.
What you got?
And the answer is yes. Absolutely, yes. Yes, for sure. There's only one other man, not named Reggie White, that can say that they had the most success that he's had in his seasons as an NFL player.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay,
Let's go.
For myself, I'm actually with Heck on this one. I'm with Heck on this one. This man, I think, the past 3 years he's been top 3.
Yeah.
You know, as far as voting when it comes to the defensive player of the year. And this year, I think he'll make not only he'll get his sack. I feel like he'll get his sacks. He'll be double-digit sacks, but he'll make more impact plays when it comes to. I think he'll force fumbles, scooping fumbles, maybe an interception here or two. I think they're going to use him all over the charts. So, yeah, I think this will be. This is the first time. This will be his first opportunity.
The missile.
To get the missile. My bad, not bazooka.
The missile.
The missile gonna get it done.
What else you got?
I mean, really,
I'm on that.
You got
right
yes
there.
or no?
I'm on that. I'm on that. When it comes,
I'm gonna tell you what I'm selling you. I will tell you what I'm selling you, dog. I'm not selling you. I ain't saying I ain't selling you.
You want the left? Right.
I ain't selling you. Good. You good. There ain't no opium. That's real. That's real spill. You already know what Micah's bringing, so it's not like I'm not selling you on nothing that Micah's got. Yeah, the numbers are there. The numbers are there. You know it supports it.
Let me ask y'all this. And y'all worried about
podcast?
Let me say what? Are y'all worried about any of these 4 rookies that are going to be thrown into the starting lineup?
Yeah. But of course. Yes, sir. Guyton.
Guyton's going to be out there. BB.
Left tackle, man.
Yeah, against Miles.
Left tackle. Yes, it should worry you. Miles. He was a right tackle in college. Left tackle out here. Cooper Beebe's never played center. He was an outstanding All-American player at Kansas at guard. This is a change.
Yeah.
You should be worried.
No.
Corner out here. There's Amari Cooper. You should be worried. You should have a concern. I'm not saying that this can't be a good rookie class. This is a tough team to go play and go on the road for your first game. So, yes, you should have concern.
Okay.
I am a naturally just be concerned guy because, dude, if you're Jim Schwartz, man, you're ready. Rookie tackle. Let's figure out how we can. Jim Schwartz is a really good coordinator.
And
guys
have
won
been
a Super
for a long
Bowl.
time.
And won a Super Bowl. And this is a really good coordinator. So everybody's going to test these guys.
Yeah.
And you have to.
Yeah,
everybody's going to test them. So, and this is where Mike McCarthy, as a head coach, and I think Mike McCarthy, when you look at the last 3 years and you look about rookies and where guys have performed, I think Mike's done a really good job.
Yes.
I don't think he gets enough credit, which is why I think it's wild that this man is on a 1-year contract and not have an extension already. He's shown you he can develop guys. And I'm not saying that I don't think they can be developed, that they can't be good players. But this first game, I just think it's a challenge. It's a tough game.
Look, for me, I've seen enough of Cooper Beebe, and I know exactly what kind of player he is. And like you say, man, when you get to the arena, either some guys have it and they don't. Mm-hmm. And some guys just have that propensity to be that player that they wanted, and he's that guy that I believe wants it. And I think he's in between 2 players that can elevate his game. The same way that you see that offensive line out in San Francisco because of Trent Williams, when you have a guy on the left and right of you like Zach Martin and Smith, dog, I think that elevates and that makes things even more comfortable when you're going into war with the team that you know that's going to pressure. You got 2 of the best. And in the middle of the field, if you can open those holes and protect in the middle of the field. And I'm not saying that Tyler Guyton ain't got his work cut out for him because he does. But you guys have pointed out the fact that you can get tight end help. You can chip him over to that side. But if I'm strong in the middle of my offensive line, then that makes up for everything that I need as far as gutting this team.
Defensively?
Yeah.
Any of those 2 that are starting? Get Liaofu, or I'm pronouncing his name all type of wrong.
Maurice.
And then you got Carson on the outside. You worried about any of those?
No, I think the talent that I've seen from the linebacker room just in out in Oxnard, I saw that as an upgrade. I mean, obviously when you see Overshawn not be able to crack the lineup with Liaofu in front of him, maybe what we've been thinking about Overshawn isn't accurate either, and maybe we have something in this rookie who we already know he's going to fly around. He's going to hit you. He's responsible in pass pro, in pass coverage. And so that's what I'm leaning on. With Kalen Carson, like you just said, I'm playing zone. I got safety help over the top.
Know where your help is, young man. Know where your help is.
Don't go crazy.
I got this.
I got you.
Oh no.
So that's all. Hey, if we're in the chat group at the 4th quarter, I'm like, oh no, I know exactly what you.
Exactly. Once you see that up there, you know.
Oh damn. No, I'm worried about it, man. But hey, I think there's a way you could cover that up. You already said what it is.
All right.
That's gonna be for L Boogie. Oh no!
Tomorrow we get started. There is football tomorrow. The Baltimore Ravens against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, we get a chance to see them.
One of those two teams will win the Super Bowl this year.
Oh, word. No. That's why you're not going to Jacksonville this year?
No.
You ain't doing that.
Duval. Done with
Duval.
Trevor Lord.
You was so cocky about that. He was cocky like Rocky. I got something for y'all. Doug Peterson. Tarzan. He's called him Tarzan.
I didn't call him Tarzan. I did not call him Duval. I was in on Trevor Lawrence, man.
That was rough. That was a rough little last stretch of the games right there. That was rough for them.
We've all had our shortcomings now, haven't we?
Trash. All right. Barry Church.
Oh, man.
Heckman bringing the Gumby picture for throwback.
Gotta bring the Gumby.
I'm Newy Scruggs. Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. We'll talk to you tomorrow right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!